If a shark bites the internet cable at the bottom of the sea, how is it repaired? Most of all, how to find out where the cable is broken in thousands of miles of sea. From this video to the entire traffic on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, the entire global tech system are connected to each other through the internet, and 99% traffic passes through a hidden cables present at the bottom of the sea. Such a traffic highway passes with the help of cables, which we use every day but cannot see. Once again, welcome in the videos of Informative World Watch. The network of undersea cables is so big that it connects all the continents together. These cables have been laid at a maximum depth of 8,000 meters, where the pressure is as high as 5,300 kilograms per square inch. This is like putting the weight of an African elephant on the smallest toe of a human foot under such high pressure. The smallest part of the cables is passing under the Black Sea between Azerbaijan and Turkestan, whose length is about 300 kilometers. And the longest part is 6,600 kilometers long, which has been named Maria Cable. It starts from Virginia Beach in America. It passes through the dark depths of the Atlantic Ocean and ends at Bilbao in Spain. If we talk about the cables laid in all the seas of the world, then the total length of all these is more than 14 lakh kilometers. So much that if these cables are Zarhasabo, if all the planets of our solar system and their moons were wrapped around them, then enough cables would still be left to make one round trip around the Earth. Now, obviously, laying such long cables, that too at a depth of 8,000 meters in the ocean, is not an easy task. So it is not just that the cost of laying just 1 kilometer of submarine cable is a maximum of 25 lakh US dollars. So now you can guess for yourself how much it would have cost to lay 14 lakh kilometers of cable. But is there a need to do all this? In today's era, the same work can be done by keeping the whole world connected wirelessly with the help of satellites. In fact, if seen, there are 493 submarine cables present in the whole world. Each cable can handle 4,000 terabits of data, and that too only. In a second, understand this, that 8 crore people can stream a 4K movie simultaneously on just one cable, and there are 493 such cables. In contrast, if the satellite does the same thing, then only 24,000 people will be able to watch the same 4K movie simultaneously on a satellite. To meet the demands of the people, more and more satellites will have to be installed, which will cost more, and the maintenance will also be more. In comparison to the submarine cable, the maintenance of the satellite is more costly and also difficult. And if for some reason there is a major fault in the satellite, if it is destroyed, it will have to bear the cost of 400 million US dollars to replace it. That is why laying millions of kilometers of cable under the sea is easier than satellite or wireless connectivity. Crores of gigabytes of data is traveling in this undersea highway all the time. This means that this highway will also be very wide. These cables will be thicker than a common domestic fiber optic cable, but it is not so. In appearance, this yellow and black cable is as thick as a hose pipe, but in reality the fiber optic cable passing through it is moored. The cable is as thin as a hair. So now the question arises that how so much data is sent through such a thin wire. This hair-sized wire is called the core of fiber optic, which is made of glass or plastic, and light passes through it, which travels by carrying data in small packets. First of all, the data present in the computer is converted from electrical signal to light signal with the help of a transmitter. The transmitter does this work through laser light or LED. The signal is transmitted in the form of a pulse which has only 2 parts, ones and zeros. The light pulse represents 1, and when there is no pulse, it represents 0. These pulses are taken from one place to another. This is the work of the core, between which the light travels. There is a layer outside this core, which is also called cladding. This layer prevents light from leaking out. If the light tried to exit from core, then the cladding bounces it back inside the core. This process is called total internal reflection. Now more distances, but this light signal becomes weak. for which a repeater is installed after every 100 kilometers, which boosts the light signal. To complete this part, a layer of core and copper is plated. A DC current of 100,000 volts is set. Because of the ocean, there is no power source in between, hence the current passing through the copper layer is used to power these amplifiers. Fiber optic cables are also capable of transmitting more than one signal simultaneously. This technique is called wavelength division multiplexing. Light of different colors is passed through fiber optic simultaneously, and each color of light has different data packet. As you know, the speed of light is r at 1,079 million kilometers. From speed of light, it reaches from one place to another at the speed of light in the blink of an eye. After reaching thousands of kilometers away, this data is converted into electrical signal with the help of photodiode or photodetector, and then the computer or mobile device reconstructs it and converts it into graphics, core, cladding, and besides the copper layer of submarine cable. Cause of the fatness of the submarine cable is, there are 7 more layers above it, whose work to be protected cables from extreme pressure of water. But despite this, these cables get damaged due to earthquakes, shark attacks, and volcanic eruptions under the sea. But the biggest reason for the damage of submarine cables is fishing. Weasels hunt the fishes living at the bottom of the sea with this trawl door, which has a rope attached to it, which is directly connected to the weasel. By sending this trawl door to the bottom, it is dragged on the ocean floor, and then the fishes keep getting trapped in it. When this trawl door is accidentally thrown at the place of submarine cable, then due to drag, the cable gets damaged a lot. Now here only one question is coming in the mind of all of you, that what if at the bottom of such a desolate sea? If submarine cables get damaged, then how are they repaired? Fixing them is a matter of later. But first of all, where are the thousands of kilometers of wire damaged? How is that location pinpointed? Let us tell you here that today's modern submarines, the cables are 1 inch thick and the weight of 1 kilometer wire is about 1,400 kilograms. Example, as much as a sedan car. For installation in the sea, thousands of kilometers of such wires are installed in one piece on the bottom of the sea with the help of special ships. After complete research, later, when a particular area is selected, large rolls of wire are loaded in a ship and brought to that location. And a special robotic machine, which is capable of walking on the seafloor, is used to dig the floor up to 1 meter. And at the same time, cables are laid in it. This is a very slow work, which is very important to be done with great care. According to an estimate, it took about 2 years to install the 600 kilometer wire to be laid between the US and Europe. When the wire kept in one vessel gets exhausted, then it is placed in another vessel full of cable, and the corner of the first wire connected with a new wire, and the laying work is carried forward. Biggest hindrance in this entire work, the weather. Atlantic. A series of strong winds are present in the ocean 365 days of the year, and when these winds take the form of a storm, no one can stop them. Apart from this, hurricanes of Category 1 status are often present in the Atlantic Ocean, even at this time when I video brave. While I am doing research, there is a Category 1 hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean, which according to the forecast will reach the coast of Ireland on August 23. Due to the hurricane or strong storm, the installation work is paused for several days, unless the weather is clear. Now that the installation work is so difficult, imagine how difficult the repair work will be. There are data centers at both the endpoints of the submarine cable, which monitor the intensity of the cable 24/7. As soon as the connection between the two is broken, if yes, then it only means that the cable has broken in the middle of the sea. To find out exactly where the thousands of kilometers of wire has been damaged, a special device is used, which is called optical time domain reflectometer. This device is connected to one end of the cable. It sends a light pulse, and because the cable is broken, light pulse bounces and comes back. The time taken by the returning pulse and the strength of the signal left can be used to estimate exactly how many kilometers there is damage in the cable. Same process is done from both the ends, and it is verified that the location of both is the same or not. Now the DC supply from both the ends, i.e. the current released in the cable, is stopped, and the ROVs at that location are placed on the bottom of the sea. With the help of ROVs, physical cable is first examined, and then the cable is taken out and brought to the vessel above. The part of the cable which has been damaged is cut, and another piece of fiber optic is installed in it. Since the core is made of glass, this work has to be done very carefully so that one glass joins the other as if it were in one piece. This process is called splicing. The cable is falling short, or the bottom of the sea is very high. If it is below, first one part is lifted up, another extra wire is added to it and laid down again. Then the same process is done on the other end of the broken wire. Benefits of submarine fiber optic cable. How it works. Installation and repair. Probably many of your questions would have been answered. Please subscribe your own YouTube channel, Informative World. Watch TV. Thank you for watching. See you in the next great video.